accurate to say that Hyrox is basically like a CrossFit workout?
You said it.
So Worlds is next for you?
Yeah, man. Worlds is 9 days away. What's up, Team Proven? My name is James Kelly. We've just started our taper, which I'm already, sounds weird, but it might be placebo, right? But volume's decreased, and I'm already feeling like itchy and feeling good. I feel like the next 9 days are going to go very slow though. I'm going to do a power clean EMOM.
Okay.
Really heavy, like super heavy, like Hyrox style heavy. Running is more important, I guess. My power, especially under the barbell, is very limited now, and I'm not saying I was beforehand, but what is it, 100, like an 80 kilo power clean to me? Oh my god, that gets me going.
How long have you been doing Hyrox for?
I've been in Hyrox for, this is my third year, so I'm going in, like, this is my third world champs.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man, but I'll tell you what, yeah, I do Hyrox, but I think if people saw me train in a gym environment, they'd be like, oh, he's a CrossFitter.
Yeah.
Because I do a lot of CrossFit components without the skills, without the walking on my hands as such. But apart from that, I look like a CrossFitter, but then I have a big, heavy running component to my training as well. Right? So many people have this like theory, or not theory, like question of like Hyrox versus CrossFit, or CrossFit versus Hyrox, which one's better, or what's the difference? It's like, yeah, there's so much difference, right? But from myself as a Hyrox athlete, we're trying to do exactly the same thing on our own scale, and that is trying to get the fittest we can be from a more of an aerobic capacity point of view, with touching the skills that we do, which is like the implements of the sleds, the machines, you know, like being efficient with the burpees and lunges, etc., wobbles. But yeah, it's I find it so funny when people try to compare.
Do you think it's accurate to say that Hyrox is basically like a CrossFit workout?
Ooh, you said it. You said it. Okay, like
it's almost like a named workout, you know, like one that you do every year or every whatever.
And I don't disagree with that, because I'm the first to understand that CrossFit came up with the methodology of what CrossFit is now. And yeah, sure, like the CrossFit world has created workouts that could potentially be like a Hyrox, like a Murph, or like people are kind of comparing it, sure, but the best thing about Hyrox is that it's a race that won't change, and you know what you're going to get most of the time. But yeah, I kind of like to come back to the question. I agree with you. It could potentially be a CrossFit workout, but like, CrossFitters will say that to downgrade Hyrox, right? Or just slam it. And like my response to that is, well, come play, like come do one. I've had to dilute my ego, knowing that the fittest woman on earth power cleans like 20 kilos heavier than I do. It's one thing, like, okay, like my training, as I said before, like, yeah, it looks as if I do CrossFit, like if anyone walked into the gym, but due to the fact that I'm running 110 kilometers a week, and then all the added aerobic pieces that I've got on top of that, like the one thing that I've like lost is more so not pure power, it's more so just pure strength, which, yeah, I've had to dilute my ego with that, right? And the only reason why like something's got to give when you're running 100k a week, I guess, but you're trying not to let it give. That's why I still do.
Yeah.
But okay, here's another thing, right? James Sprague, fittest man on earth, did his first Hyrox in a 1:02, pretty sure. Very respectable time.
He's one of the better runners in CrossFit too.
He's one of the better runners in CrossFit, right? And I'm not trying to downgrade James at all. I'm trying to give the perspective of us as Hyrox athletes, and what we do is very, very elite, because James Sprague is, as you said, is one of the best runners in the field, and he hasn't, his 1:02 time isn't in the top 500 times in the world now.
Yeah.
1:02 isn't, it's a very respectable time. He's the fittest man on earth and can't crack the hour though, which is like, I like James. I've never met him, but he seems like a cool dude. But you can't compare CrossFit and being the fittest man on earth to just jumping into a Hyrox race and being in the Elite 15. You haven't done a Hyrox yet? Are you tempted?
Yeah, I went to get tickets for the Dublin one, but I was slower than 4 seconds, so I missed out.
And it's crazy to get tickets now,
Yeah.
hey? Wouldn't be surprised if we get to a point soon where most races are going to be like 4 or 5 days, just continuous.
I think
just
London next one is going to be 7 days or something.
Yeah, I've heard Birmingham is the first UK event for the 2026 season. And I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Just crazy, hey?
If I wanted to get into the Elite 15, what do I have to do to get there? What would a person need to, how do they qualify to get into that bracket?
Yeah,
is it just purely based on one race time, or is it over a season?
No, so it's based on 2 race times across a 1 year period. So you need to, if you wanted to be in the Elite 15, you would have to race twice and get an average time, and that average time has to be in the top 15 times in the world.
Okay.
Right? From there, you'll get, you'll qualify for the next major, to then qualify at that major for the World Championship by podiuming at that race.
Okay.
So you have to come top 3 to get your qualification for the World Champs, but to do that, you have to be in the top 15 times in the world. And the way to do that is to get an average, your average of 2 times in a period of 365 days.
So are the majors different than, say, Cardiff was on this weekend? They're different from that?
Correct. So
okay.
Cardiff was on, last weekend, right? And that's a normal race that anyone can go and get a really good time, and that time in Cardiff can actually be one of the qualifying times to get into a major.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, so it's kind of like you have 4 opportunities a year to get into the major, and then once you're into the major, you have 4 opportunities to make the World Championship, right?
Yeah.
And then the World Champs is the World Champs, which is interesting because the 4 majors mean a lot, and a lot of people are going there to get their World Champ spot, but I was able to get my World Champ spot in the first major this year, right? And due to that, I ticked that off, and and then I was able to still go to the second, third and fourth major due to wanting to race, sponsorships, prize money, etc. But then you get to a point, right, where we get to the World Champs next week and everyone's on the same playing field. Like, it doesn't matter that I came second, first, fourth and first in the 4 majors.
It doesn't carry over.
It doesn't carry over anything, right? Everyone, all the 15 that I'm racing, all the 14 that I'm racing against qualified for the World Champs. Some of them qualified in a 3rd place at one of the majors and probably didn't race the others, but are in the same race as me, and we're all lining up with the same playing field, or you know, like, for the opportunity of becoming the world champ.
And is there 15 people at Worlds?
Yep, so 15 men, 15 female.
Okay.
Yep.
So you only have to beat 14 guys to win.
Only, right?
Only,
right, yeah.
What was your last time at Worlds?
At Worlds? So I came 3rd last year at Worlds. I think it was a 56 minute. Yeah, no one cracked the 56 minute at Worlds. So Alex Ronkovic did like a 56.10. Michael Sambach came 2nd and did like a 56.30, and I did like a 56.50.
What was your best time this year?
My best time this year was 53.20.
Where do you find 3 minutes from? Is that like at one station held you back at Worlds, or just overall little like transitions
overall,
and stuff?
I'm a big believer of doing like the small things, like as best to my ability. Yeah, maybe I've gotten quicker at a few of the stations, or sorry, not even quicker, but just more efficient.
Yeah.
Which means quicker. I think my running has improved by 3 or 4 seconds per kilometre, but the one thing that I really pride myself on is like the everything else apart from the running and apart from the stations. It's like the quickness out of stations, the quickness into stations that I feel like no one talks about and no one does really, really well. So I personally think it's more of the most simple, but like simple, small things that I do well has allowed me to.
Is that like, so you mean you go to the rower station and it makes a difference how quickly you get from finishing your run to your first pull on the row, and then your last pull on the row to being back on the track?
Transition, right? If you can transition 3 seconds quicker than anyone else, that's not, and I'm talking about every transition. There's 15 transitions, because if you think about it, 1K run into ski, that's 1. Ski into run, that's 2.
Yeah.
Run into push into blah blah blah, etc. etc. That's 15. If you can be more efficient at those transitions than anyone else, let's just say 3 seconds per.
Let's say 45 seconds.
45 seconds, bang. And that's not even. That's to me. Yeah, it's trainable. That's how I train, but it's a choice. It's a choice to be a little bit more efficient. It's a choice to, as soon as you let go of the ski, fucking take off. And that's the beauty of, I guess, the race, because it's fitness in general, right? Like, half of fitness is choices. And I think a lot of people shy away from the hard choice of being aggressive when the going gets tough. But it's not, the going gets tough, or you're in the pain cave, as we say, or it's hurting. Well, sure, but if you choose to knuckle down and go towards that pain or not, the outcome is going to be the fucking same 2 or 3 minutes after the race. I've always thought about that, because it's just a matter of time, just fucking grinding. Hunter McIntyre's got a world record of 53.22, and mine is 53.23.
Okay.
So I got that about 3 months ago in Glasgow, and I remember running over the finish line. I knew the world record. I knew his time of 53.22, and I looked up and I saw 53.23, and it's not even a second. It's like 0.7 of a second.
Yeah.
Away, and if I keep doing what I'm doing, that record will fucking come, and I know that. Right now, I'd so much rather be the world champ than the world record holder.
Yeah.
I want to beat these guys on their day and beat them fair and square, rather than good old Hunter boy complaining about jet lag and saying that he wasn't ready to rumble that day in Glasgow, which he wasn't. But yeah, we'll see in 9 days' time.
What are your, say you go now and you win Worlds, do you come back and defend it? Or if you go and come second in Worlds, do you come back to win it? Like, have you got like a 3-year plan or a...
Yeah, right now my plan is to continue to make statements. I said that to my coach at the start of the year, like, I don't want to just race for the sake of being in the 15 anymore. I want to race to make statements, and I haven't done it yet. Like, I've won 2 majors, yeah, but I haven't made the statements that I want. If I win, lose or draw on next week, I'll be coming back to try to win next year. Yeah. You know, like, I look at the bigger picture, and that is like, I want to show people how to race this race, or change the way people race this race, and that comes with the clarity of understanding that you can do the little things well to make up a lot of time. And I guess, like, that's my motto right now, or my kind of my mission is to really push out like a different way to race this race. And you know, I'm ready to go for next week. I know I am, because I'm so fucking excited and happy and ready to go, and whatever happens will happen. I'll be the first if anyone can beat me. Like, good on him. I'll be the first to be there to congratulate him at the finish line. Yeah, watch this space.